Firebrand and Father Overseer are the same person! Listen to me! They are! First, Overseer is a very, very important figure in Death in the Family. Father Overseer is the entire reason Medkit is missing, after all. So you'd figure that on the cover, someone like Sword or Medkit, or at the very least, the villain of the story, Overseer, would be on the cover. No! It's Firebrand! Sure, the Scorch was a pretty important event, but I think if I was writing Death in the Family and Firebrand was Overseer, I'd definitely slap Firebrand on the cover so that when the readers realized, they'd make that connection and it would be even better reading it a second time. Second, a pattern I noticed is all of the deities having these claws. Venomshank, Darkheart, Windforce, and Overseer. Meaning Overseer must be some kind of deity, because the only people with these claws are deities. Overseer does claim to be a being sent down by whatever god the church worships, but the entire point of the church is for it to be like a cult, right? We know Overseer isn't telling the truth. Soda stated that it's impossible for Infernals to spawn without a gear. Well, I'm pretty sure Ice Dagger is an Overseer, and the only other deity whose whereabouts are unknown is Firebrand. Something interesting is that Overseer has an obsession with eyes. And Firebrand also happens to be missing an eye. Also, this I find the strongest evidence, when you invert an image of Firebrand, what do you notice? Well, I noticed that it has similarities to a normal image of Overseer. Although the colors aren't exactly the same, they are very close. Inverted Firebrand has a lot of bright blue with a bit of dark blue, while Overseer has a lot of dark blue with a bit of light blue. Now, the question is, why? Why would Firebrand burn down an entire faction just to become a cult leader? My theory is that there is something unknown at play. He burned down Lost Temple because he wanted to start the cult. The way people recruit each other into cults is by exploiting vulnerability. Firebrand burned down Lost Temple with the intent of bringing about a large number of vulnerable people, which did end up happening. With thousands who lost their family members, their homes, their friends, everything to the fire, they were obviously desperate. Once he caused so much ruin, Firebrand switched to his alter ego, Father Overseer, to offer a place for these desperate people to stay, a place where they could be given meaning and community. Why Firebrand made a cult? I don't know, but I guess we'll have to see. Something I find interesting is how this raises quite a few questions. First, on page 70, Darkheart mentions rumors of a strange figure lurking around Lost Temple, and asks, what if it's him, alluding to Firebrand? If Firebrand is Overseer, I wonder who this figure is. Also, Windforce's wiki used to say that she used to know of Firebrand's whereabouts, but it doesn't anymore. I don't have a screenshot, so you're just gonna have to trust me on this one, because I'm 90% sure it was there. I don't really have any comments on this, but if it's still canon, I wonder why she would know he was running the whole cult and just not bother to tell anybody about it. Subscribe!